Okay, thank you everyone for joining me today. And today I will talk about some interesting news that I found today. And the first one is in AR, A, AR, ARS Tech Technica.com. So ARS Technica. Oh yeah. So yeah, and the topic, the title is called Neutral Implement lets paralyzed person type by imagining writing. So, which is very interesting. This article is written by John Timmer. It's pretty much a paralyzed individual hits 90 characters per minute, 99% accurate. So how it works, pretty much it's kind of like same as Elon Musk's Neuralink, right? It's like has been making waves on the technology side of neural implements. But how every like how the device work is pretty much like insert. When I see the image, it's like kind of like putting a device into your brain, right? And just directly kind of like detect all the electrode inside and make whatever you imagine, like your dreaming becomes the doing, like dreaming is doing right now. So they have some experimental stuff. They put a headset on top of a person, a paralyzed person's head, and pretty much like make your intention a decision and make it transmitted to your motor cortex, and that will translate into action. So yeah, so it's total, like it becomes brain machine interface directly. So yeah, so specifically the researchers placed two implements in the premotor cortex of a paralyzed person. So pretty much they have two implements inside someone's cortex, inside the brain of a paralyzed person. And this area is thought to be involved in the forming of intentions to perform movements. And by catching those intentions is much more likely to produce a clear signal that catching the movements themselves. So yeah, so by doing that, these signals will go directly to the computer. So if the person wants to type something, so yeah, so the interface needs to mimic more like handwriting or hand typing. So the person, like they let the person imagine there's a cursor or there's a keyboard, or like yeah, and they need to move the cursor to hit each the interface, the keyboard on the screen. So yeah, and it's 99% accurate. The person can type 90 characters in 1 minute. So yeah, so if you can see the video, it's very amazing that transfer your intentions to actions just by collecting or like detecting the extra dots, yeah, and implement into the computer. So yeah, so I think this is yeah, a phenomena, yeah, like stuff. And yeah, it's, yeah, when I see this, I was like, wow, this is very, very cool. But the thing is that you need to draw two little holes and directly insert to your brain. Maybe in the future, you can just wear something without, implementation. Yeah. Okay. So Ellen, do you have any thoughts for this?
Yeah, I've seen a couple, I guess, videos in the past where they're starting to experiment with, like you said, not even having to put holes in the head, but just put a device on the back of your head that allows you to make decisions just based off of what you think. So yeah, I mean, it's another one of those technologies, and that I think until you get a chance to try it, it's really hard to understand like what it does, because to me, being able to select something with my hands or a mouse or even in the virtual world kind of still makes a lot of sense. But to be able to just think about something and have it, I don't know how that translates to this type of technology. So I think a lot about, certain things, but to be able to actually control something with your brain as opposed to eye movement or physical gestures, still seems a little strange to me. But what I do know is that the technology is going really quickly. So there's been a lot of development over the last couple of years in this area, as well as exoskeleton suits and devices that allow paralyzed people to be able to utilize those things for movement. So yeah, I could envision in the very near future the ability to have a paralyzed person just use these types of devices to control not only movement but also things around them, virtual information as well. So it's definitely really exciting, and I'm hoping to see more of it in the future.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Yeah, I think this is definitely before I thought like, wow, how can you transfer, like the signal inside your brain into, like into a language that computer can read. But now it seems like everything is happening. I just think, yeah, I mean, it's a mysterious box, but like it's still, yeah, very, very cool. Okay, so yeah, so next news is, yeah, let me, okay. So before we talked about NFT, right? And then now there are some very cool stuff in NFT. So it's in ledgerinsights.com, ledgerinsights.com. And this article is written by Ledger Insights. The title is called "The Vision Behind PALM, PALM, PALM. NFTs are the record collections of the future." So yeah, so pretty much in late March, Consensus, a company called CONSENCSYS, yeah, revealed soon to launch Palm, both an NFT blockchain protocol and Palm NFT studio. Yeah, so pretty much this use I would say when I take a look of Palm, PALM, .io, if you want to see this company, it is a new NFT ecosystem for cultural and creativity built efficiently with Ethereum. Yeah, so the difference between this, I think before I worked on a project which was kind of like, the founder of Ethereum kind of found that project, and that was entertainment live streaming video project and called Breaker. I think for that project, the founder of Ethereum wants to use blockchain to put inside different fields, and his first goal is to use blockchain on the entertainment system. So yeah, so so every time when something is played for the artists, they can collect some monies or some rewards just by blockchain technology to ensure that artists can get paid every time their work got played or got watched. So yeah, so I think the founder of Ethereum really love to support the cultural and creativity. The really good thing about it is it is scalable and sustainable, right? And then yeah, and it's definitely decentralized. So it's definitely promoting the creativity, and it's also energy efficient. I think this one is a really big thing because Elon Musk kind of like drop Bitcoins on the Tesla website because he thought that, it's too much of energy to generate, Bitcoin. So that's why he dropped. But I think Ethereum, like, the founder is really smart. He catch it, and he is using like 99% more energy efficient and proof of work based blockchain networks. To be honest with you, I still don't know how this works. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, like they figure out a way to do 99% more energy efficient for this system, and low gas shared growth. So creators using this Palm ecosystem will benefit from super low gas fee, and the Palm ecosystem will reward both creators and participants. I think the idea is really, really, really good. I really like blockchain's idea. It's decentralized, right? And the money, going, really well, without being charged by, third party or something, right? Like a bank, right? But there are some problems because, yeah, there is no, rules or laws, and it's hard to, really control it. So how to find out a way to, to make all the system works. I still don't really know about cryptocurrency, but I think the vision is amazing. So this is the new system, and they kind of like trying to make it more, I would say, very, very like the energy efficient, and also they can help benefit both creators and also the viewer or audience. So yeah, so any thoughts for the news, Ellen?
Yeah, not a lot. I still find the blockchain technology a bit confusing. I do know I have a project coming up where they want to utilize some blockchain technology, so maybe I'll get a chance to learn more about it. But I think the problem is it's such a unique technology, and I think a useful one in a lot of cases. But I think the issue is that it's not a technology that's easy to compare to previous technologies. In my view, it's not like we're taking something we've done for years and years and just making it better. To me, it's something I'm trying to compare to something else that I understand, and it's hard to do that with this technology. That's why I think there's a big mystery about how it works and things like that. So yeah, just trying to get to understand it better. And yeah, I mean, its usefulness. I mean, I see, in the areas of finance and the areas of gamification. I mean, there's a lot of areas that it could be utilized pretty uniquely. But yeah, it's one of those things I have to kind of, I guess, wait for it to develop and find out more about it.
Yes, yeah, same here. I still don't understand. I remember a long time ago, I got a project related to blockchain. So I bought, I literally listened to at least like 5 to 6 audiobook related to blockchain, cryptocurrency, and all the stuff, all the topics. I just bought it and I listened. And I still don't understand. And even though I invite one of the industry leaders in blockchain to my event and for some, like learning something from her, but I still don't get it. And yeah, just like you said, there's nothing, it's kind of like totally a new thing. So there's nothing to compare. And it seems like they are trying to solve a problem, but that one will cause some problems as well. So it's not fully resolved. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, but the vision is great. I mean, I really like the vision, but maybe it's similar to, something like, like right now, China, right? China is using, I don't know, sociology or something, like capitalism. And another one is like, everything is for people, right? But at the end, it becomes another extreme, right? So I think the original idea for Russian and for China is like, oh, we kind of let people to, do everything and kind of fight capitalism. But at the end, it go another extreme and become something that is even worse. So yeah, so for me, I'm thinking about, yeah, it's very good, but who can control this? Maybe, the tycoon, right? Always the most powerful, or people they can always control. And imagine if they control this, that's even worse, right? You see, like the money it can be controlled by the market, right? Something at least something controllable, something inside it. But you see cryptocurrency, Elon Musk just say, oh, I'm not going to use da 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 da, and everything drop. Yeah, so you see, like still being manipulated by other people, it's still not really fair for me.
Yeah, well, that's the mystery, especially with the cryptocurrency is like what actually dictates its value, and it makes me nervous that just one person can tweet something and all of a sudden the value increases or decreases. That's still kind of strange. How that happens in regular business as well, but yeah, I mean it's just one of those strange places that I think time is going to have to go by a little bit further before more people understand how that fits in. And like you said, the governments get a little nervous when they start losing control over how things work as well. So it's going to be a hard ride. But yeah, I think certain technologies, when they function properly, it's hard for people to stop them. You can fight it as much as you want, but if it's successful, it's going to just happen. So you have to work around it.
Yeah, and I like the concept of saving the energy. That's great, right? Like blockchain and especially privacy. I really think that you see, like today I listened to some podcasts. It seems like Google is doing the privacy issue and trying to lock it or make it better. And Apple just announced in their meeting, developer conference, and it seems like iOS 15, well, they will integrate some, the privacy issues and make it even better and reduce the fee. Before it's like 30% to upload the apps, right, to Apple Store. But right now they cut to 15%. So yeah, so I think the privacy issues will be a big stuff in the future, right? And then I think blockchain is really good, but cryptocurrency, I mean, blockchain and cryptocurrency, I think those are kind of one thing, but I think it's two things. One is kind of, a money thing. Another one is just a technology to secure the information.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, the technology is tied together there, but they're kind of technically two different things. But yeah, I mean, as far as blockchain goes, the ability to tie it into other types of interactions is interesting. I mean, obviously, finance has been the big one that people are paying attention to. But yeah, being able to kind of control things on a smaller level or more individualized level is pretty interesting. And I find it interesting, how you start to use the blockchain technologies in other places, art and like I said before, they were looking at using it for software to be able to keep pirating of software, and try to eliminate that by using blockchain technology within it as well. So yeah, I think there's a lot of areas that it makes a lot of sense, but again, there's still that mystery. So
yeah,
and I think with Elon Musk, it's funny to me that he came out and said, well, I'm not going to take Bitcoin because it's the efficiency of how it's created is not there. But he's the guy that solves problems, right? So I would have thought that he would have taken the opportunity to suggest how people could make it more efficient, or try to figure out a way to make that technology a little more energy efficient, as opposed to just saying, hey, we're not going to deal with it. But he's not in the crypto business, but you would have thought that he'd have better suggestions than just dropping it completely.
Yeah, I think I'm still looking at the news, but it seems like he is going to do something to make sure that dodgy, right? He's all into that hilarious stuff. I think he is just trying. I don't know. He is a marketing genius. He know how to create buzz, right? Yeah. And then I think a lot of people kind of. I can definitely think he is a genius in both marketing, business, and also science or something. Like he has the vision. Not necessarily he can actually execute it, but he is definitely has the vision and he can create buzz. This is absolutely, I think he's genius. Yeah, and it seems like he's going to create the power like a power plant for people to mine Doji. I don't know, like I watched somewhere, I read somewhere, and yeah, he is going to create something like eco-friendly just for Doji miners.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I hadn't heard that, but that makes sense. It's like that's the beauty of Elon Musk is kind of taking the impossible and making it possible. So
yeah,
what's neat about him and just the technology in general is that he's taking at least 2 or 3 kind of businesses that people said would be impossible to do, and he's turned it into something that's just happening on a daily basis almost now. So yeah, I mean, it's neat to see that, because then you realize that your crazy ideas are maybe not so crazy.
yeah.
And yeah, maybe it's the same thing with the currency. It's like, if that's a problem, then fix it and make it work. So
Yeah, and yeah, I just type some keywords, and it seems like Elon Musk tweets. Yeah, because I don't know everything from the Twitter. He said that working with Doji devs to improve system transactions efficiently, potentially promising. So it seems like he is working with the Doji the developers and trying to make them more efficient, energy efficient. Because I think what's good about Elon Musk is that he is trying to solve the problem. He is not just like, oh, this doesn't work, and not really figure it out. Yeah, and he is, yeah, and I think like without government interfere, all the financial stuff, people owns more power, right? So yeah, but another way is that what if it's not doing well or something, that maybe will become Russian or mainland China. Like, government has absolutely power. Before, I think the socialism or, those types of theories kind of want people to get, most power. But, sometimes if you play something a little bit, things just go to the opposite. So
yeah, it's kind of weird, because in the past the government had so much control over, like NASA, for example. Like everything happened, especially with the space exploration.
yeah,
It was all very much kind of government based. But now you're seeing a lot more private industry kind of doing these types of things. So I think that's great. Again, for the competition, it's all about competition to me. It's like the more you have, the better things get, because people will try to innovate more, and that's just the way that it kind of works. So to me, that makes a lot of sense that it works that way. But again, with Elon Musk, it's like you have to kind of prove that these things are possible. He does that, which is really unique. So.
Yeah, and I think that this is how the society grows. And I think maybe something will go somewhere. You see, like before we think, oh, self-driving car is not really possible, but you see like 5G, right? And you see like something really works, and you start believing it, right? So I think, so maybe, Doji or, like the cryptocurrency can become the mainstream. Who knows? But maybe the law, you see like Facebook, right now people start focusing on or learning more privacy issues because of Facebook, right? Facebook is pretty much break all the rules and be the pioneer of doing a lot of, social media stuff, even though people still concerning. But I mean, it kind of forced, the law or the lawmakers or the government to start focusing on the issue of privacy, right? So so maybe when the technology is running so fast and all the the people in the Congress or the government need to start study what's cryptocurrency. It's like forcing them to make it.
I don't know if you'd mentioned it, but also speaking of privacy, I thought I'd heard a report about Amazon updating their Alexas to create a private mesh technology, which I think you have to go in and or a public mesh technology, but I think you have to go in and disable it. Like the next update, they're going to enable that feature, which kind of creates a mesh between the different devices, and it's I guess privacy-wise, it's kind of scary, but you have to actually physically go in and turn that feature off. So I was trying to learn more about what that was, but it seemed like it was a pretty big step over the line for privacy reasons to me. But maybe we can learn more about that and talk about it later.
Yeah, because this is a very interesting issues because I know in the future everyone becomes data, right? We becomes and data becomes so valuable, right? Everyone's data behaviors becomes like extremely valuable. So how can you protect your data or your behavior? So
definitely. Well, it's even the hidden data, because if you think about some of these smart speakers like Alexa and whatnot, if they're listening to you on a daily basis and just gathering keywords that you're using throughout the day, even if they're not tagging you personally with that, they're still collecting that data to then use for marketing reasons, which I kind of on the fine line of whether I agree or disagree with that. I think it's not a huge deal, but I don't like to be marketed to. I don't have a kind of a problem with that. So yeah, when you know that they're taking that type of information, using it for business purposes, I think maybe there's a problem there too. But yeah, there's a lot of things you do. Just the way that you navigate a website or just some of these other technologies that they're still gathering data that you don't even know is being used. So it's a little concerning sometimes.
Yeah, totally agree. Yeah, I think this is a very interesting area that we haven't explored, and we probably our brain is just get used to accept the government or authority or bank, those types of system. We grow with that. Right now, if we kind of take all those out, then people start thinking about then who can control something then, right? And what if people use that to do the bad things and there's no regulations or law to stop them? So so there might be because of the technology, so the rule and the regulation will change. Just make sure it's because right now it's too pioneer, so no nobody knows how to control that, and people kind of scared, and there's nothing to compare, right? So so very interesting. Okay, so the third news is Facebook's Spark AR platform expands to video calling with multi-peer API. So pretty much because before I kind of play around Spark AR, it's very interesting. You download Spark AR, kind of like the software on Facebook or somewhere Spark AR Studio, and then I download it, and pretty much it allows you to publish a simple AR lens on Facebook or Instagram. Before, like long time ago, I would say 2 years ago, I only did. You can only choose one, but I don't know right now. Maybe you can have both. The thing about it, the good thing about it is that you pop it one time, right? And you can reuse it. It's not like, unlike a lot of marketing, if you put an ad on Facebook, once you click, Facebook will charge you, a certain amount of money. But for this, when I was using it, it seems like everything is free right now, but I don't know in the future, right? So you can put there forever, and people just keep clicking and keep trying the lens. And I know some of my friends, they accumulate a few million views. I haven't got that much, like many views, but you see, like you know how to do a simple lens, and it stays with you, with the brand forever, and it kind of like adds interaction about it. And when doing it, it's pretty simple. You can use 2D stuff and simple 3D, and I think it ties to Sketchfab, so you can kind of directly like click the library inside Sketchfab, so you can drag and drop. So everything, that make everything really simple. So and then once you finish it, it's published on Facebook and Instagram. So you have already had a lot of audience support. So a lot of marketers, they 2 years ago, they were trying to do a lot of AR campaign on Instagram and Facebook. And right now they are supporting the platform for call, and also you can make some small games in your video calls. So yeah, so I think this is kind of like a really interesting. Right now we can see all the platforms, they are kind of mingle together. Before you can only talk for the video call. Right now there are some games involved, and I think they have another program which collect their best creators and Spark AR creators and mingle with them, and then start doing a lot of really interesting brainstorming and make it like a multi-user and multi-platform AR stuff. Oh yeah, and this news is on TechCrunch.com. The title is called "Facebook's Spark AR platform expands to video calling with multi-peer API." And this article is written by Amanda S. Yeah. Okay. So, any thoughts for the news, Ellen?
Yeah, this is an interesting subject for me because I've been in the AR business for a long time, and I've always tried to stay on what I consider the most useful aspects of AR, VR, XR, which is how to use it in business, how to use it for like the industrial applications, like all these very useful things. And typically what happens when I tell my friends what I do, they go, "Oh, you work on that Pokemon Go stuff, or you work on the Instagram stuff, or I could put a mustache on my face, or special things, and that's so much fun, and we have a great time with it." And I go, "No, that's not what I do." So, it's more useful than that. And to me, on one side, that irritates me because I'm like, there's so much more you can do with this technology, not just that stuff. But on the other hand, I love the fact that it's being utilized in that way. I mean, it's making it more popular, obviously, and it is useful now that companies are starting to use it for branding. And like, for example, wearing glasses on your face or interacting with brands in that manner. So, there's definitely a retail application there. I know that some of the makeup companies are using it to apply makeup and see what you would look like before and after, which is awesome. I love it. But it just, I just tend to be on the other side of that whole topic. And, it's hard for me sometimes. I think some of the applications a little more silly, and so yeah, I mean, I worked with Spark in the past just to see how, it would work and some of the things you could do with it, but that's not necessarily where I specialize in what I do. So yeah, it's still a tough topic for me to talk about.
Yeah, I think this is definitely a really good, I mean, for the public or more like consumers, for them to, have some fun, because I mean, enterprise, it's great. I mean, sorry. Yeah, I thought I just keep talking to myself. Yeah, I think enterprise is very cool because I mean it solves the real problem, right? And it matters, right? And yeah, I think all the enterprise, that is really useful. And as for branding and marketing, as far as I know, because I've been doing branding and marketing after graduating from our center as a graphic designer. And then I know like every day I have to do newsletter, right, and do some A/B testing websites, right, because companies has the product, right, at the end they want to sell, right. And I heard that there's a sentences when I like in my first work, everyone just said that sales is the blood of the company. Without sales, right, there's no money coming, and the company couldn't survive without sales. So yeah, so I started realize that wow, yeah, in order for a person or even a company to survive, sales is so important because it generate money. And the normal customers, in order to sell, I mean, sales is a hard job because before I was, yeah, like I think like a few years ago, I got a chance to work as a sales rep in Sam's Club for a few months, just between jobs and jobs, projects. And I I told myself, yeah, that's fine. If there's any stuff, then I would love to do. So I was selling massagers, right? And yeah, and I mean, I got rejections at least 200 to 300 per day. Yeah, and it's not easy. So, I mean, this can definitely, like make people have fun, right? And they want to interact more because when a sales just want to sell stuff to you and people really don't like sales, too salesy or like, oh, something too dry, they just walk away. But if there's something that kind of ease the tension, because when people look at the sales, they just like, oh, you are trying to get the money out of my pocket, right? So I think this is kind of like a tone or like something that make people want to join, and then it feels like less salesy, but make people kind of stay within the brand. So it's kind of like, I would say, a little bit, like make selling a little fun. So yeah, or
well, certainly, yeah, like gamification. I think it would fall into that category, kind of, getting you in, having fun with the product, and also potentially learning more about it. And
yeah,
like you said, feeling easier about buying it. So it definitely works. That's for sure. It's shown to be very successful.
yeah.
It's
Yeah, I remember like 2 or 3 years ago, I download Walmart AR app for Christmas because I look at the news. I saw Walmart just launched an AR lens, and it allows the customer to use in Walmart store or at house. So I did it in my room, and then the fun thing is that because like nobody really likes to do anything related to Walmart in their free time, right? Who will download Walmart and browsing their app, during Christmas, or unless you want to buy something. But if you don't want to buy something, why? There's no point of me open the Walmart app, right? So I open it and I saw some really interesting game, which is I throw a snowball to a tiger, and that is a branding. I remember there was a cookie, and the main character of that fun cookie is there's a tiger, and I was trying to like throw snowballs to I don't know that tiger, or help the tiger to get rid of the bad people, right? And I was throwing, and at the end I had a photo with that tiger, and then I got a coupon of that package, yeah, of that cookie. So yeah, so before I didn't even realize that there's that types of cookie there. But after having fun with that tiger, I start knowing the brand more. So I think gamification can definitely help me to know more about the brand, and also because I have fun with it, I feel like I feel like more emotional connected with the brand. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I can imagine too, when we start using the wearables more often, when that becomes more mainstream, that's going to introduce more potential into that type of interaction, gamifying the retail experience. Because right now, even for me, in the previous startup that I was at with that specialized in AR, one of our verticals was retail. And what I realized is, as much as I love the technology, there was still a process for me to take out my phone, download the app, and in the store interact with products. So I still think there's that. When I go to the store, I just want to get what I want to get and then leave. But I think with the glasses, as soon as I have it right in front of me and it's just available all the time, and I can kind of interact with things on that level, I think it'll change a lot the way that we kind of interact with with retail environments in that case. But still a lot of obstacles, I think, in the way as well.
Yeah, totally agree. I think, yeah, still, yeah, I can see this AR, VR, XR integrate with a lot of different like neuroscience or like NFT and also retail. Like it can mingle every experience or every field. I'm really happy to see, yeah, everything just start flourishing. I think right now, just because of COVID. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Thank you for joining me today. And thank you, Alan, for joining me today. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.